And thank you for viewing my presentation of my show, The Fourth Wall. I am Kalila Walden, the executive producer, and I want to walk you through a brief explanation of my wonderful show that I have created. So, The Fourth Wall is a scripted comedic drama that encompasses a cast of characters that um, take a journey through their early career in the theater world. Now, as you can see, we have budgeted $9 million and would love to shoot at the end of this year to get a jump on things. Our vision for the show is going to be young professionals. And as I said, they're trying to navigate their way through the cutthroat theater business and all its production while trying to survive real world drama and responsibility. The mission of the show is to give the audience a sneak peek behind the curtain, if you will, of a premier Chicago theater, and follow these young actors and crew members who are bonded by their road to the stage. Now the cast is going to spend the season trying to stay in character, trying to stay in the preconceived notions that they have of the theater world and career and their life in that world. And so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to keep watching to find out if they're strong enough to support the cast and their own baggage, or if they're finally going to break that fourth wall and start being real. So, for those of you that don't know or aren't familiar with what the fourth wall is, the fourth wall is that veil of the stage. It's the veil that keeps the cast in character. That's what they call the fourth wall. It's the wall, if you're in film, it's the wall of the camera where people do not talk directly to the audience. They're acting in character as if the audience is not there. That's the fourth wall. And so when we say the fourth wall, these characters, these young professionals, be it actors or crew members, they are trying so very hard to just be the people that they think they should be in their careers to get where they need to be. And they're trying to suppress all the baggage, all the things that they brought with them that got them to be where they are now. So the preconceived ideal selves that they're trying to carry with them. And so they're trying so hard to not let any snippet of their former lives sneak out, peek out, and break that fourth wall. And so let's introduce the cast, shall we? We have Maya. Maya is 22. She is the epitome of the collegiate success story. She went to NYU. She majored in fine art. She's got a master's degree in the program. She is witty. She is sarcastic. She is an overall good person. But see, my issue is that she has underlying insecurities. While she has gained so much academic success and accolades, being in the wonderful, prestigious NYU program, she is known for her acting ability, right, on stage. But what she really wants to do is she's an aspiring writer and film actor. So while she did have success in her theatrical days at NYU, she really wants to be a film actor. And so it's caused her some underlying insecurities as to whether or not she can really do it, whether she really has the gusto to really make it in film as an actor, to really make it in writing. So she really hasn't gotten very many opportunities up until now. She really doesn't feel seen or heard in the capacity that she really wants to be in. Then we have Jackson, who's 25. Jackson is your overall good guy. Jackson is not an actor. So Jackson is a crewman. He's working on the set, and Jackson really came up by his bootstraps, if you will, but he actually has deep roots in the theater game. His family has a long line of history in the theater world, and he worked his way up as a college intern. So he has dreams of designing a major Broadway production. So he does set design. He's your general jack of all trades in the theater world. And Jackson is a diamond in the rough, if you will, in that he's an empath. He's an emotionally available man. He's your manly man, but he's also a sweetheart. Then we've got Shelly. So Shelly's 23. Shelly is your Ivy League princess, came from money. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's a part-time model. But she has kind of a rocky relationship with her family. And that relationship has caused her to isolate from people, because she feels judged often. So people don't have an opportunity to judge her based on her money, her family's money, based on her history of being a model. She tends to isolate so that people won't judge her. So that's her level of insecurity. And we've got Chris. Chris is your loudmouth, life of the party, look at me now guy. He's 23. He is just your overall party animal. But Chris's story is that he has pretty much had to do everything on his own. He's got no family support because his family really mandated that he go to medical school. His family is a background of doctors, and they're all in medicine. And his siblings, followed the call and they went to medicine. And Chris, he did things his own way. He was determined to be a comedian and an actor. And so his family decided that if that's what he wanted to do, they would not support him. And so Chris paid his way through school, acting school, and did it on his own. And now he's trying to live life on his own terms. And he has a chip on his shoulder because he really has something to prove and he has zero support. And then we have Stephanie, America's sweetheart, at least on the surface. She's got an award-winning smile. She's got this sweet angel face. But the thing about Stephanie is there's more than meets the eye. Don't let that sweet face fool you. Now, Stephanie is a sound engineer and seems to have it all going for her. However, Stephanie grew up in the foster system. She was bounced from family to family, and she has dreams of being in back office management. She really wants to own her own company one day. And the thing about Stephanie is she will step on anybody's toes to get there. She will manipulate her way to the top if she has to and use her award-winning smile to get there. Then we have Kayla, also known as KJ. So she's one of our older cast members, and she's from Atlanta. She's a Georgia peach. Now, the thing about Stephanie is that Stephanie is not like the others. Stephanie is not a collegiate. She didn't go to college. Stephanie worked her way to where she is now. She is a makeup artist. So she loves all things makeup, makeup design, and she has worked her way all the way to Chicago to get where she is. But unlike everyone else, Stephanie is actually harboring a painful secret. Stephanie has a 9-year-old son that's back home that her parents are taking care of. Stephanie is homesick. She's struggling to hide the fact that she's homesick. She's hiding phone calls between her and her son. And so she's dealing with the pain of caring for her son and the separation while trying to make a better life for her child. And so we'll see how that dynamic with Stephanie, being a mature parent and trying to make it, but trying to blend in with these up and coming, young professionals, how that's going to work out. And then we have Sam. Sam's the producer. Okay. So he's the OG of the crew. And Sam has OCD. So Sam has been in this game a very long time. Sam knows a whole lot about the business. He knows what things should look like. He knows how things should go. Sam has to deal with, donors. He has to deal with, the theater business is kind of, a fledgling business nowadays. I mean, unless you're a giant theater house, a lot of the theater is struggling these days. Sam has to wear that on his shoulders, right? And try not to let it show. So Sam is OCD for a reason. So he has to deal with all of that, the brunt of the finances of the show. He has to make sure the show is great. So Sam is a lot older than these young professionals. So he is very seasoned in his career. And then we have Travis on the other end of the spectrum. He's kind of middle of the road. So he's already seen a lot. He's already done a lot. And now he's the front of house manager. So he's kind of a control freak. He needs things to go. He's amassed some accolades in his career, and now it's a reflection of him. How everybody performs and behaves is a reflection of him. So he is a bit of a control freak and very much a jerk at times. People don't really like him for that reason, but he's that reason because of the things that he's gone through. And we'll see some of those things play out as the show continues. And we'll also see the dynamics of Travis and Sam go at it because we have kind of almost two different generations of ideology. Sam is more old school and traditional theater, and Travis wants to modernize things. And so we see them kind of go at it. Then we have Kennedy. Now, Kennedy is kind of like the mother hen. She's kind of the glue that holds everything together. She's a sweetheart. She's the trusted stage manager who's the advocate for the actors and the crew, but also she sees the business side of things, so she understands where Sam is coming from. And we love Kennedy. As far as the episodes throughout the season. So we kick things off with what happens in the headset stays in the headset. So these headsets that the crew wear are awesome. They facilitate communication from back of house to lighting to sound to the producers. So we know that people are talking in these headsets to communicate things that are needing to happen, any type of changes, all the way to the box office. And sometimes these headsets pick up conversations that really don't need to be picked up. And so Maya, one of our head leading role actors, discovers just a little too much about her new crush because she happens to be standing next to someone with a headset that's turned up a little louder than it really needs to be turned up. So we'll see how the dynamics of Maya overhearing a conversation through a headset that she really shouldn't hear, and see how that starts her insecurity, a downfall, running full speed ahead. And we'll see what that's all about. And we'll also learn through the course of the season just who that new crush is and what that's going to do with her. And then we have Follow the Leader. Follow the Leader is really a play on words because Chris, our resident prankster, starts a party game that involves some things that get him in trouble. It puts him in a position, this prank that he has everybody play threatens his position with the cast. And it also reveals just how far he's willing to go to get attention and really his deep-seated insecurities about getting love and affection because he doesn't have any support. And so we'll see really how far Chris is willing to go, really to get that affirmation. So we'll see what's going on with Follow the Leader. We have HR situation next. Okay, so HR situation. So our resident manipulator Shelly. Okay, Shelly, as we stated before, grew up in the foster system, bouncing from house to house to house. Right, but Shelly has a very interesting and checkered past, and so we find out that Shelley actually, her past encompasses some dealings with Travis. And so when the cast gets wind of this and the crew gets wind of this, rumors start to swirl that there might be even some kind of relationship history with Travis. And maybe some of that relationship has spilled over to today, and that possibly could be how she got the job. And we know that she's a ladder climber. So the rumors swirl, and we know that and the drama is going. I mean, think about Grey's Anatomy meets Station 19 meets Suits. All of the crazy drama and the ladder climbing and all of the craziness that could possibly take place is present with the HR situation. Next, we have good blocking. So for those of you that are not familiar with blocking, blocking is your positioning on stage where everything is sitting from the actors to the furniture to the set design. And so while sticking up for a stranger at a coffee shop, Maya inadvertently scores a meeting with a well-known film producer. So she's in line to get her coffee at a coffee shop. Someone ends up cutting in line in front of the person who's in front of her, excuse me. And so the person who's in front of her gets caught looking down at their phone. They're caught up in whatever conversation they're having. So someone goes in front of the two of them. So when the person looks up, they try to let that person know, hey, I was actually next. I'm running late for a meeting. The person is a jerk. Maya, advocates, to let them know, hey, she really was first. She needs to go. It sounds like she really has a meeting she's running late for. That advocacy that Maya shows for this person ends up turning in her favor because the person that she's sticking up for is actually a well-known film producer. And so, hey, what do we know about Maya? She really wants to be a film actor and a writer. So, because she was so sweet and she acted on behalf of a total stranger, the stranger ends up producing a card, tells Maya to come see her anytime when they, briefly discuss, their self and their lives and their career histories. So, Maya gets an in essentially in the industry that she's been trying to break into. Next we have Dead Baby Cake. Now, this is a hilarious title. Here we go with Stephanie, our resident manipulator. So, what does she do? She sucks up. That's one thing Stephanie is great at is sucking up. So it is the producer Sam's birthday. So Stephanie decides she is going to be the first to treat Sam. So she doesn't have much money, so she's going to bake him a birthday cake. Now, this is a scary thing because as a former foster kid bouncing from house to house, she didn't exactly have Susie Homemaker teaching her how to cook or bake. So this cake ends up in disaster. So we'll see what happens, and we'll actually find out why we call it dead baby cake. That is interesting in and of itself. And so tune in to find out what happens with dead baby cake. Then we have Them. Okay, Them is about the follow-up to Maya's interaction with the film producer. So Maya's interaction and networking opportunity does produce. So Maya ends up forming a working relationship with this film producer and a budding friendship. So, she starts, forming an alliance with this film producer, going to several meetings, getting to sit in on set at some shows, and makes a new little circle of friends. And so this new circle of friends, Maya wants to connect with her current cast and film and excuse me and theater family. And so as she's trying to connect the two circles, it starts to ruffle feathers where she didn't understand why. Jackson, of all people, seems to not like so much the union of the two groups. And so he begins to just refer to her new circle as them. And it's weird because that's just a very unlikely attitude for Jackson, the sweet, loving guy who loves everyone. And so we'll see how that plays out. And then we have Beware the Understudy. So KJ, our makeup artist, overhears just how far Stephanie's willing to go to get ahead. Okay. And that turns KJ's stomach. This is someone who didn't even go to college, who worked her way, job after job, hustle after hustle, just to get where she's going, just to get where she is. And she's doing it not just for herself, but for her child. And so to hear that somebody is actively scheming and trying to step over other people to get a position and not only to get a position, but to possibly take it from someone else. This is almost too much for KJ. And so we'll find out what's going on with Beware the Understudy. And finally, in our season finale, we have Curtain Call. And so it's adequately called Curtain Call because we know that the curtain call comes at the end of the play. It's where the cast finally comes out to take their final bow. And this is at the end where we learn, throughout the whole episodes, we're finally starting to see the development of Maya's crush, and we learn that Maya's crush is actually Jackson. And so the thing about it is Maya has no idea whether or not Jackson feels the same way for her. She just is silently crushing on him. She, as a matter of fact, she doesn't think that he returns her affections. But in reality, Jackson is falling head over heels for Maya, and that is why he's so bothered by her new studio friends. And so Jackson is finally ready to reveal his truth to Maya, right? And as he gets ready to tell her the real deal, Maya gets a pressing phone call. And so this phone call is regarding her meetings over at that film studio. And so we're left on a cliffhanger to find out what happened. What was the nature of the call? Is she going to get a job? Are they going to make her an offer? What's going to happen? Because this is also the end of theater season. And so new contracts are coming out for the next season. And so we're left hanging in the balance. Is Maya going to return? What's going to happen with Jackson? What's happening with her career? It's the curtain call. So is she taking her final bow with the Chicago Theater? We don't know. You got to tune in to find out. So the theme of the show. Essentially, the themes of the show are your perspective shape your reality. Each and every one of these cast members' realities are shaped by their own baggage, their own personal perspectives, how they interact with each other, how they prepare for their jobs, how they walk through life has been shaped by all that they have been through. Their perspectives have shaped their reality. Also, you can't choose your family. You just can't. You can't. Life and the places that life takes you and the people that life presents in front of you. Those are the people that end up becoming your family. You just can't choose your family, even if you want to. Now, there's family that you're born into, but then there's the other people. The other people that life, that God, that people just present to you as a perfect gift that's wrapped up with a bow. You can't choose your family. And that's just like it is in the theater. Your theater crew, a theater company, it's your family. Through blood, sweat, tears, many, many practices, trials and errors. The theater company, they become your family. And the last theme, which is something that's going to be narrated by Maya. Fight through the good, fight through the bad. Just fight for what you want. If you want anything worth having, it's worth the fight. Our target audience, it runs the gamut. I mean, this is really a show for everyone, for 18 to 40-year-olds. I mean, the drama lovers are going to love it because there's a lot of drama. There's a lot of push and pull arguments. There's a lot of character-driven stories, emotional depth, because we got a lot of struggle. We got a lot of personal struggle, personal triumphs, evolving relationships. There's a lot of family stuff. There's just a lot of drama. Your theater enthusiasts will love this because there is a lot of theater culture and innuendo. There's a lot of art culture. There's a lot of behind the scenes funny twists that theater lovers will get. A lot of character twists and turns and journeys and curtain calls. There's a lot of theater stuff. So it's going to be fun for theater enthusiasts. And then friendship advocates, those who love a good connection, will love this. Those who love a good fight. We'll love this, the ups and downs of the friendship journey, the camaraderie. There's going to be something for everyone in this show. Our marketing strategy really is just captivating trailers and teasers and utilizing social media platforms to release those trailers and teasers for engagement, collaborating with influencers and bloggers for reviews and promos, and engaging in content marketing with behind the scenes interviews and feature interviews. We're going to partner with relevant brands for cross promotions. And I mean, that's basically our pitch. I want to thank everyone for your time, for viewing the pitch, and I'm really hoping that I'm going to be allowed time to explore this further to be able to bring the fourth wall to life. All right, for now, everyone enjoy your day, and I'm hoping to discuss this further so that we can elevate your lineup content. All right, have a good one.